Tonight, we're going to be going into half guard this week, which is my favorite start, right? A lot that we can do on it. So we're going to start off on getting the half guard from closed guard and bottom side control. As new students, as white belts, sometimes even through blue belt, the place where you're going to find yourself most is going to be on your back and side control, or on your back with somebody in the closed guard, right? So the best way to get out of these spots outside of sweeping is to transition to a different guard game, right? If you're pinned under somebody in side control, getting one leg hooking into the half guard is a much better position, right? On a closed guard, you're limited on what you can do and keeping your guard closed, but shifting the half guard opens up a lot more opportunities for you. We're going to look at both top and bottom half guard for the next three classes, okay? Well, first, let's talk about how do we get the half guard from closed guard. James? I'm at closed guard. Now, one or two things are going to happen here. I'm either going to hang out, and he's going to get frustrated and start to move and pass my guard, or I'm going to initiate because I don't want to hang out here, and I'm going to start forcing position, right? Either way, what's going to happen is he's controlling my hips. I don't want him to do that, so we're going to bump, swim, and pull, right? Now, because I need to still create some space but have control, I'm going to circle through, grab this wrist, and I'm going to post a hand on the chest, right? I'm going to break my guard, shrimp a little bit. At this point, he's going to start a guard pass because I broke my guard, right? I voluntarily said, hey, I'm not staying here, and he's going to start initiating some kind of movement. So I want to get a knee shield up here. He's going to immediately start to step over my leg because it's a block for him. Fine. Customer's always right. He lifts his knee out of the way, my foot goes between, and I trap his calf. Grab the shoulder here, or cup the neck here, and pull them to your knee shield. We're going to control this wrist for right now, but this is inconsequential. We don't have to keep this, okay? Ideally, I'm going to get my heel on his hip or my toes on the top of the thigh, get my knee in play. I'll grab here and set my hand here in case he tries to cover my head. Then I can block this bicep and stop him from doing that, okay? So again, from closed guard, I'm going to initiate movement. If he initiates movement, I'm on the defensive. I would much rather take an offensive and start everything off because his reactions will create the opportunities that I need, right? So, bump, swim, grab, pop out, knee shield goes in. As soon as my guard breaks, the knee goes in, he's going to start stepping over. Every good grappler will start to step over, right? Hook my foot inside. I want my knee at mid-thigh. My knee shield below his chin. Grab the trap. I can even let go of the hand at this point, but keep my elbow in as a frame. I'm not on my back. I'm on my right hip and my right shoulder. Being here does me no good. My spine is twisted and contorted. It's very easy for him to move my leg to get past him. But here, my spine is in good alignment, and I've got a solid skeletal frame. Okay? Now we're going to move from closed guard to half guard. Any questions? All right, get paired up on 2 on 2. How long have you through it? How long? Yes. Yeah. I'll make sure you get in position. I'll sack throw and then go to this guard. Well, you should have the roof. Scrap up. Where's your right knee go?
Like really whatever.
You want to shoot this like
You're gonna step up and then we can this is gonna stop. This is here, so if you try to pick it up, now I have control, so like pushing and trying to you're here, because I here, is
So don't forget when we do this, you're here, and we're here. You bring it over like this.
Yeah, I did.
Well, not a long time ago, but I left Sparks in 8th grade to go to late my well, I'm to do a high end with shares building. Okay, this is
Now, with your knee and under his chin.
Yeah, that's going to rest on his head. Now, you're jumping his knees. So this is going to rest yeah, just a couple steps. This is it.
Really is knee. Put on his cap. He's gonna come back down.
Oh, yeah. Ideally, you don't want that far. This here.
Ideally, it's heel. That takes a lot of mobility and shoulder high, because if you come down low, don't make it off the arm right here. If you come down low, you watch out, shoulder down.
It's like this. Oh, I'm sorry. And you want to keep this in front of your
head.
Because again, I just your knee shield is to be so that you get front of that. Keep going in. Here, that's right. That's right. You want to put myself I'll go get it. You gotta keep that waist there. One at a time. Yes. And then you don't feel that no, so you need to keep breathing.
I have a frame. This is a frame.
Here is a frame.
This is a frame.
All right, guys, time. All right, we're going to talk about something real quick. All right. So, when I told you like a foot position for the legs, the knee shield, I told you two ways to do it, right? Toes on top of the thigh or heel in the hip. The preferred method is heel in the hip. Now that takes mobility in your ankle and your knee. if you put toes on the thigh, here's what can happen to you. If my toes are on his thigh and I slip high, right? Yes, I'm a poet. It's okay. But my toes get caught in that hip, right? There's a submission that can be done from here that can break the foot. It sucks. There's a submission that can be done from here that can blow out the tendons in your ankle. And it sucks. Or, if they don't know those, just him moving around, if my toe gets caught on his uniform, my big toe gets broke. And what? That sucks.
It's bad.
Right? So you need to keep your toes a little bit lower, or put your heel with your toes just on the outside of the hip bone. And then bring them into attach. Okay? If you have to do the toes in, keep them out of the hip socket. It's going to be difficult to do. That's why I typically don't mention it. Heel, middle of the thigh, your toes just outside the hip line. Attach, keep them there. Attach, keep them there. Okay? Make sense? Yeah. Dig it. On 2 and 2. All right.
We can do this on the site. Yeah, that's what we where you're at, you're looking right here. You're actually there. Here. My foot flexion is over. Come on, no. I fly under. That's why I'm doing this.
I've had cramps a month right now. I've had to try this. Like most days I come in for some bits and get my abs on.
No, you're right. It's basically what situation. Chances are, yes. Chances are you're going to be on your shoulders like that. So you're not going to be tight. That's basically kind of ready to fly.
This part of my.
But you just don't want to.
That way I
There's a new one. Fine.
obviously,
Hey, we both learned it too.
I see. Yes.
Yep.
We're on the same school.
So for when he did it, when he put his arm on my shoulder, he pushed me up. Yeah. That's the other way. I had to, that's why it's too close. Here, come down, coming down, and then like that, and then I try to say, here, step over. Okay, grab. Okay. Can I get a kick cushion?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's the idea. I need that extra hand. I mean, and that's the difference. You know, full man, right? And they don't like it. Or you can be here, at least we're going to smash. And it's 30%. So, yeah, that's going to be one. And we learned it. I'm like, I'm going to do it. That was a little bit. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, That'll very much. It's not. How long is it? How long is it? I'm more worried about the. I just want to say, I'm not saying I would. We want a little bit of control. This control. Everybody else is like. And then you. I was joking.
All right, guys, time! Let's talk about getting here. Okay, no more side conversation. I said time. It's time to listen to Tom. My turn to talk.
It's Tom time.
You look like I just yelled at you. I'm fucking. All right, how do we get here from side control? I've been begging. So we don't like being here, right? Bottom side control is a bad place to be in because the person on top has control, right? And I know Shane's got solid pressure. I'm a delicate flower. I don't want to deal with this crap. So how do I get out of here, right? So just like your basic re-guard from bottom side control that I know some of you have not seen yet, I'm going to have my frame set up. So let me posture up on it for a second. If I'm in bottom side control, I want to make sure that I have T-Rex arms, right? Which were actually wings. They're on the skeleton, but I digress. T-Rexes were dragons, damn it. So my arms in, right? This forearm is going to frame on the hip. This would be a frame on the neck. So Shane comes in, forearm on the hip. Never, 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 or what? Never put your hand on the hip. Never, 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 never put your hand in the pocket of the shoulder. You are asking for a world of hurt if you do this. It's called a wrist lock. Your fingertips will touch your forearm. You will cry. You will get injured. I will be sad for you. Okay? I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at everybody.
It doesn't have to be a lot.
So, forearm on the hip, forearm across the neck, and then my hand, I'm going to reach over the track. Okay? Then, my legs, I'm not just going to be a dead fish here. I'm going to have the instep or the bottom sole of my foot on the inside of my knee. My knee goes in the hip socket, and I'm going to turn my hips toward my opponent. This is going to slow them down from going to mount. Okay? Now, so I got my frames in, right? Bad spot to be, I don't want to be here. I know I'm going to get squashed, you're going to do bad shit to me, right? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring both feet close to my butt. I'm going to bridge into them, strip my hips back, shoot my knee across, right? I'm going to try and get across the midsection. I'm going to start to pull him to me, swim a foot under, and go right into half guard. I know, lots of steps. You guys are like, what the fuck just happened here? It's okay, right? Frames are in. Both feet go to the mat. Big bridge. I stay on my shoulder. I shrimp, I pull my hips out of the way, right? My bottom knee comes all the way across the hip line. And then I pull the arm and I shift my body in this direction. This will allow me to pop my foot through, that I can push him back and get my knee shield in, and I'm right back to half guard. Okay? Are we ready to try it, or do we need to see it again? It's okay if we need to see it again. Guys, do not be afraid to say, hey, one more time. Okay? Especially when there's a lot of steps to it. I don't expect mastery your first day of learning stuff. That's next week. Put the frames, right? Get my knee engaged, and I turn toward him. Now, when I've got my frames, I'm not trying to push him off of me from here. I'm just setting up a frame, right? So if he throws a lot of weight at me, I just try to keep the same L shape and I can keep breathing. If I don't, and I start to suck and I start pumping funny, right? If I try to struggle and push against him, you can tell that I'm struggling pushing him against him because my head's turning a little red, right? Did it do anything to him?
No.
He didn't go anywhere. Who's gonna get tired first? The old fat guy on bottom, right? So I'm gonna bring my feet close to my butt. I'm going to bridge. I'm not pushing away. I just bridge. Shrimp. Knee comes across. I'm just gonna grab the elbow. Cycle out. Push him away. Now I'm gonna head there. Okay? Let's practice that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Lots of steps. Go slow with it. Talk to training partners first.
Have you done second? Will you just
5-yard penalty.
Okay, all right, hold on.
So you've never put anyone second? All right.
So you don't see what. Hey guys, time. We had to cover top side control real quick for the new people. Shane, come here. Cover this real quick. You gotta have baseline, right? Okay, so top side control. Person's on their back. We're gonna come in. We're gonna have a knee at the hip. We're gonna have a knee at the shoulder, right? Go up front. The head side arm is going to go under the neck. We're going to be chest to chest, preferably sternum to sternum. Right? Palm up. The side goes under the arm. Palm down. We're going to pull them to us, and we're going to shoulder them just as the chin and turn their head away. Okay? No, we're not doing a bomb flu choke here. We're just misaligning the spine. And then we let gravity do the work, and we have it. And it's not comfortable, okay? So you see how now you set the frames to avoid getting squashed, right? So again, knee at the hip, knee at the shoulder. Whenever we call for side control, this is the top and bottom position for side control. This is true for all of jiu-jitsu. No matter what academy you go to, they say side mount, side control, this is it. Shoulder and hip, up the arms, okay? All right, I told you. Okay. So, you want to? So you want me to do the same? You want to feel it or you want to make it now? Hands. What do you want to do? I'll watch those. That way they don't get broken. Always a very good effect. Right now, I'm going to move you. I'm not being fresh. See how you've got your hips high? I want you to stretch your hips just a little bit. So relax your hips. I'm going to grab you and just smash. Okay? Shrimp out. This is called being headed down. Here, and if you do nothing, I'm here, just put your hands out right now. That's how they're going to be. So,
Come up.
Pushing
around.
5 back.
So this is what people start to bring in jiu-jitsu. So when I got to here, the bridge,
Yeah, you bring that leg in.
I don't force anything, I just slide it as far as I can go.
Yeah, and then the foot goes down, because I just push it down.
Oh, so it's split,
Yeah.
because I'm going to, so I can just be right here.
Okay.
Kind of just slides through, as long as I'm still walking here.
Just get right the leg.
Yeah, so, bridge, shrimp, bring the back closer. It's weird. I gotta keep your base.
Alright, you brought him in.
No speed racer. I was just getting ready. I don't like this.
What I do, right, if one person has an issue,
Since I'm going to start, I'm trying to get it. That's what this is you.
Well, and that's the thing, is if you do this, and now we're here, boom, and we're here.
I can be a fairly blunt and assertive in my
We get here.
I don't want anybody to feel like I'm targeting
Here, and already are. Yes. I can target this from all traffic. Wonderful. He's like control for a second. Let's see it, guys.
and step your foot.
He's only like this much.
He's going to end up pushing us to try and break this over. It's going to make that frame.
Well, hang on. Here's the bridge. Right.
Typical just body frames.
And so swim is on this side.
Get on your shoulders. Bridge, get on your shoulders. Yes. Now, shrink your both over here. This foot you're going to keep. Okay. Makes sense. So watch me. Now when I put this knee across, it's over from me. The Mets miss you.
I know, I miss the Mets.
You don't have to have your whole cap on my cap, you're just kind of.
Oh, you bridge.
It's going to
a little more. Bring your butt right here. So,
Put them all better.
now bring that bottom knee across.
Okay, you try to bridge like this.
At this point, even though you get to here, this foot is going to come closer. Right here.
Stay there.
Now, under the front crossface.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, you can attack and then your hip, your body, your hips under and like this. I'm going to put my hands on you. You're going to get right here. Nobody puts you under. Yes. Now, push you away. Like power and knee shield up, just like you did the first time with foam. So you grip this one out there. Lots of steps. Oh, yeah.
I push my ass away.
Come back.
Pushing
That regard is one more complex as far as little things that go through it. Unfortunately, it's the only way to get some out of your last guard from the side. That's what it is. Where if you say you're like that, they can pretty program. Just hold on to
It's one of those things. Take everybody. Just have some game. Fire the teams.
You actually want to. If it's too far one way or the other, you can easily go that way.
I'm gonna look.
Okay, so you want to break the pass and then whichever way you're going, I'm going to take your gear. Yes, yes. Okay, so once you bridge and then you jump enough to be guard, and then across the stage where you were left. But yeah. No, your objective is to back out. We're into our yes.
It's actually good idea. Flatten that ass back out and kill my brain.
The work, doing more motion.
Oh, shoot.
It's all right.
Well, you'll lose it.
I forgot what name.
Yeah, it's really hard for me.
So right now you're good.
So
So many years ago, here, like over there, those over to his knees, now you have leverage. Now, hands pretty high way.
So like, if someone got a great look at me, I feel like, okay, I feel like, where we
Hey guys, listen. So, I know that there's a lot of steps to this together, right? I even own that when we first started doing it. It is one of the more complex regarding procedures that we do in jiu-jitsu than getting out of bottom half, the bottom side of the foot, right? The typical way to do it is go back to full guard, which is a bigger swim and a bigger pull, and then there's more steps to it. Going to half guard kind of shortcuts that a little bit. But it's all those little pieces that go together to get the space for you to get your knees in. That's the important stuff, right? Yeah, it's a lot. And if we could spend the rest of class doing just that move, I'd be fine with that, so that you get the foundations on how to make that move. Because it is going to be the basis of what we do for the rest of the week, right? But unfortunately, I don't have the time to spend the rest of the hours doing one event. We do have to move on a little bit. So when it comes time to directing technique during sparring time, or working with partners, or working at home if you're fortunate to have somebody to work with, practice this, okay? Because it's that important. It is the primary escape on a bottom side control you will ever learn, okay? It's that important to learn. But we do have to interfere with active technique. Otherwise, y'all aren't going to get the whole crux of the lessons for the week, right? So if we're 50% there, we're gold good. Okay? If we've got the basic knowledge of I need to frame and bridge and get my leg back through, we're good. Okay? Jiu-jitsu is a very long journey. I've been training for 9 years and I know next to nothing about jiu-jitsu. There's that much to it. Think about all of the knowledge in Oxford University, big ass library. Think of that as the knowledge of jiu-jitsu. I might know the first shelf of that library. Okay? The competition black belts, you guys have been around forever. Say your journey from white belt to black belt is nothing compared to the education you get once you achieve your black belt. Right now, I'm teaching you how to get the basics of jiu-jitsu and the fundamental movements so that your brain can expand and understand how your body works with this stuff. And yeah, we're going to learn some cool submissions and chokes and arm locks and shit off the way, right? But as you take just one step out of every time we do this stuff, your game is going to improve. And you just compile that class after class, week over week, year after year, you will get moderately okay jiu-jitsu. If any black belt ever tells you they're good, they're lying. Right? A good for example on that. The average jiu-jitsu player will see their black belt in 10 to 15 years. And that's the people that make it that way. I started at 42 years old. My goal was to have my black belt by 52. And COVID had a little bit of play in that. The fact that we don't have a black belt on staff is playing into that a little bit. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to get my black belt. I did the math on it. For me to get to my red and black belt, which is the next step past that, I'll be 88. Now, I beat the shit out of my body for way too long in my 20s to realistically think that I'll be rolling into my 80s. I would love to, but I just don't see it happening. But I relish the journey. One thing that jiu-jitsu has given me is patience. I know it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but it has taught me to look at the big picture of things and look at the long-term goal. And that's part of what I want to give to you guys, is the ability to look long-term. Okay? So now, let's talk about what we can do on a fast guard, right? The first one is gonna be, when people do the dog fight. Dog fight similar, yeah. All right. So this technique was taught to me by a guy who at 160 pounds would compete in the 200-pound weight bracket as a black belt and take their gold medals. Very, very effective series of techniques out of half guard. The guy's name was Lucas Leach. Okay, shake, sir. So we're in half guard, right? I'm playing a close-in half guard, so I can actually touch shoulder and arm, right? Now what I want to do, I don't want to hang out here. He can start to set up passes, he can start doing control, but as Chris Howder says, rule number 1 of jiu-jitsu, be the one on top. Rule number 2, if you're not on top, get there. Rule number 3, when you're on top, stay there. Rule number 4, see rule number 1. So, we're not on top. We want to get there, right? To do that, I'm going to start from half guard. I'm going to open my knee out to his elbow. Then I'm going to lift my foot to the ceiling. And look at this big old hole. I could drive a fat trucker guy through that hole, right? We don't want to be here and lift because we're going to get caught in the armpit, and that doesn't do anything for us. We need to open, lift, right? So I'm here, I'm going to frame, open, lift. When I'm ready to go, this arm is going to windshield wiper under, right? And I'm going to sit up and listen to the heartbeat. Now, I'm going to stick my ear right here. Where's his chin right now?
It would be on top of your head.
A little low, right? So when I sit up into this, I have to make sure I'm not sitting up and blasting him in the mouth with the side of my head. He got a pointy ass chin. I'll probably go to sleep and hit the temple from that, right? If not, I might knock some of the teeth out of his head. So we want to make sure that when we sit up, we come in low, right? When we move in, I want to scoot my hips forward and bump his knee back with my leg. We were here, okay? When I sit in, I scoot forward, I use my elbow to push, and I'm going to hit this knee and push it backwards and get in, okay? This hand comes around the hip, and I can tuck the hip here. My elbow is behind me in a plane with my shoulders to give me a nice strong skeletal frame. So when he pushes into me, I've got a kickstand, right? If this is out wide and he pushes into me, oh shit. If it's under me and he pushes into me, oh shit, right? All of that is bad. So here, now let's go to. Now I've got my frame, listen to the heartbeat. This foot, right? Walk. And see how his hips move? Right, walk. Hips move. Once his hips move, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to pop up to my knee, and I'm going to keep this leg under my leg. I'm going to sit in both of my knees, grab this far side, pull, and drive my weight forward.
Of course.
I'm going to trap his neck, step out, ready to side control. Look, look, guys, that camera is rolling right now to record everything that I'm doing. YouTube at Smash Pass BJJ. These videos get posted for you to watch so you can pick all this stuff up, okay? That's why I do it. I know there's a lot to it. I only get to see you guys for a couple hours a week. So the videos are there so that you can catch all this stuff, okay? I used to just do technique videos, but I missed all the nuanced stuff that happens when I walk around and point things out and then stop the class today, focus on this. That's why I just record the whole damn class now. Okay? So again, halfy guard. This is the last one we're gonna do tonight, okay? Half your guard. So, here, open, kick, swing,
Oh, move the leg back. Good skeletal frame.
step. Walk, you walk, hips move. Once the hips move, he's done. He just doesn't know it yet. Pop up, boom, and keep the leg track. Once I pop up and keep his hip, he's gonna be on his ass, right? Up the knee, be nice enough to get his arm out, or he's gonna get more, right? Scoop, push down. Trap, yeah, put it in. Roll, extend the knees down. Press the whole leg. Then you start to control. Where we started. Only you're on top. Yes.
So question for the new people, just on behalf, Shane was getting the wizard in. Should-
Right now, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll go into that.
Just
Right now?
do the wizard.
If you do the wizard, do the wizard. If you don't do the wizard, don't do the wizard. We're
Okay.
going to finish the same way no matter
Okay,
what.
we're gonna finish the same.
Okay.
Got
We'll go into that on Wednesday. Okay?
it. Okay.
Perfect. We need to see it again. It's okay if we do. All right, I'm talking. Was that air bubbles?
No. Sorry.
Push them out. Push them out.
Whoever was going around with scissors the other day, like coughing.
Yeah.
Want to get through it?
I always like
You're in this. So get on your hip. Get your legs to the grass, like ready to go. Walk it over. Yeah, walk it over. Chances are you're gonna be. I know.
So now when I want it. Because a lot of people do this.
It's like a way you can give yourself.
Even with me, it's hitting, it's like somebody shaking up the knee around.
Walk. Who's my chest connected, taking it off you. So it's
Here.
It's elbow here. So then I do shoot up.
There we go.
Push there you.
hit that seal. Yep. First goal is to get this arm. Fire. Roll with your foot. Oh, there you go. Sit up. Hear the heartbeat.
So,
It's clear. Your goal is to come up with yourself, but I get your ear underneath.
You can do the back step. Either one.
slide in.
Sometimes it's all easier for the old folks.
Either way you want to do it, just roll with your point. So you want to just walk on the outside leg, or you walk on the outside leg, and start walking this. I don't feel like shit. It's got me, so come up. Sometimes.
Feels like it's
Join the knees. You're not down. You're showing yourself. You're coming over. So I can't hear it. Shake this forward.
Yeah.
Slide in.
Wait, how do
Higher. On your like this.
It's a
With breath work, he's gonna come back.
Where's the brain? If you want to go a bit more,
Right.
down lower. They want to hang down here. Well, you just want to. You want this to
Around.
I just like push my hips down.
Open up your legs, roll, like this.
I was just kidding.
You're just gonna shoot the whole body. You don't have to move it. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as you do that, boom.
There's both.
You don't break it like that. You just want to have it on camera.
There's both.
You just want to take away the lead.
Yeah, it's got a couple.
Very, very weird. Here, it's less.
The team is like that. You
Don't want to balance.
No, stop. Now, all you're gonna do here, right, is you're gonna work this foot, walk your toes, walk your toes, walk your toes. Okay, see how it's move?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to ribs it to your knees. Yep. Good. And then his arm, your right hand, grab his far knee.
So see how your arms still there?
Two, push forward.
Well, yeah. What's it? Here?
Yeah.
What I did was you want to dive under. I get my
Put your shoulder, knee to you, knee to you, so put your shoulder, yes, and now, your idea here, move you,
Low. So we're
here, right? And so now you're in top position, right?
So it's like
Pressure here,
through,
roll your feet, so here right now, right?
so that I'm close.
Keep your feet straight up on the ground.
Notice.
Left hand, grab behind his
It's a
neck.
little bit more. I want to pull that, but still,
I'm not camera.
so I'm not that way, so I see, it's just it's kind of here.
Go around the side control.
Yeah, boom, yeah, just.
Now, as a good grappler, he doesn't want his back taken, so he's going to go and just flatten out and get his frames in. Otherwise, you're gonna take his back and start doing really bad shit like chokes.
Watch this.
My butt is down.
Come up more. Remember, start on the stern. There.
You'll get it. You'll get it. That was pretty good. You'll get it. Okay?
Remember, this one's gonna be low,
Take
around the
away
waist.
piece.
So it'd be
Every
real
bit I
close,
give
you're
you.
getting up close and personal.
I don't expect you to memorize a full
This right here, you want that more in on his chest, so they will get his shoulders.
I should say, very, very, very few.
1% of the pop.
These are the super gifted folks that can play.
Pushes in,
Right
it's
here, I have a product that's on.
yeah.
Most people, it takes them multiple days of training these types of words to get it to really flow. So don't beat yourself up. When you start doing gymnastics, right? When you started doing that, did you know anything about it? Did you sit and get it ready for it? You know? They walked in and you were a superstar.
It's not a superstar, but it sucks.
You're gonna suck at this stuff.
Concept of staying there.
Everybody's
If you take the steering wheel,
Here's where we're walking out. That's why you have to take. There's no written dust on your back. Everything made all that effort.
here, it's right there. Now you have us. You'll get here. So it's your,
You throw a sheeter
through here.
These mats are inexpensive. You can get it. These mats are a couple of stuff. Space so practice.
Elevated though, you're right there.
And my mom.
Right.
So we have to get this community. No, you're yep. Here, when you stretch out, then you know what you're doing. This. Now,
How do I use this?
right now, you gotta roll. do I just grab an estimate? Because as soon as I move this, I'm gonna. Well, you're gonna like this. Okay, so I'm passing, right? Exactly. That's free. It's hard to do it. So you need to go slow. But anytime you do that, that's just a little hard. I've seen how it's supposed to be. You're like looking and trying to make sure you have it right. The idea is you're gonna be up close. Your head's gonna, because you don't want any space. You're using, it's more repetitive. It's more like, and then you're gonna stop. No, we have 5 minutes left. The whole time, when I slide,
All right, guys, keep repping, keep repping. You know, 5 minutes left in class, a few more reps in on this.
It makes more sense, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that way they push back.
Yes, that was much better.
No, and that's the problem.
Left hand, where's it going?
This, yeah. Space.
There you go. Maybe that was much better. There you go. That was much better. Much better.
But the wet thing's natural because most people don't know how to apply pressure with just their stuff.
That's why I'm like,
So walk around first. And you wanna walk in.
Once your chest, the center of your chest goes past the center of yours,
Yes.
they can roll you over and sweep you. All that work you just did.
Yeah.
That's why it's that. That makes it slow. That's right. That's why I'm doing twice.
Exactly. Energy conservation.
I don't know about to do it twice.
go again or you want?
Was that? Yes.
Why are you floating?
No, you're good.
This is the part.
I always think that's
I have to. I mean, they came over, it's no play, but yeah, it's hard. You don't want to play that.
Your feet just don't go back down, like that, mine just stay like that, like they don't go up, right?
once I get past your feet, it's then when you're gonna go back to this.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Can I try?
What do you feel?
Now we